So, Dana White's Contender Series episode 5 is now in the books, and another great night of fights it was, too. Really, really, decent competitive fights, some really nice finishes on the card, and yeah, it's just been a great series all the same. And like I said before in many of the past videos, pertaining to the Contender Series, it's a far better way to find talent for the UFC's various divisions. I mean, the Ultimate Fighter, as we all know, is stale, it's done, it's going. Hooray! Um, I mean, this is so much better, and the Contender Series has a major role to play. I think it'll be interesting to see what ESPN, obviously the new TV deal in America, will do with it. Are they going to have it more regular? Are they just going to keep it to the summer? We don't really know as such, but like I say, I'm enjoying it for what it is. I think most people who are watching the fights of a Tuesday night are really enjoying the fights, and this week was no different. Some really good competitive fights, and some really nice finishes too, and just really good high level MMA. So I guess in this video we'll go through the contract winners. We'll talk about their fights, and then we'll talk about the remainder of the fights and the fighters who didn't get a look in. So I guess we'll start with, and I'm going to butcher his name, and I apologize in advance, but 20-year-old Edmund Shabazian. I hope I got that right. He gets a look in. He defeated Antonio Jones in a really, really blistering, quick fight. 40 seconds is all it took Shabazian to knock him out clean out. He just launched forward and was just unrelenting barrage of punches here and there, and the fight was finished. Very impressive. Only 20 years of age. So, and to be honest with you, I haven't seen much footage of him. That was my first time ever seeing him, actually, to be fair, on the Contender Series. 40 seconds isn't exactly a huge amount of tape to kind of really look at someone, because this is such an unnatural way of fighting, because the onus is on you to impress Dana White, to get a contract, blah, 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 blah. We get it. I'd just be interested to see what kind of things he does in the UFC. Um, but 20 years old, they might put him in this developmental program. I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. I know Greg Hardy got a contract similar to that, which meant that he's going back on to the Contender Series to make sure it wasn't a fluke. I guess I haven't a clue. But I mean, Edmund looked really, really good, and look, 40 seconds, blister and knockout, first night, excuse me, first fight of the night. What more do you expect? I guess really trying to impress the big man Dana White. I guess he did that, and is now in the UFC. So congratulations to him, and look forward to see what he can do. Who do you match him up with? Haven't a clue. That's all coming down the line, I guess. Where were we? Yes, okay. Uh, Domingo Pilate got signed. He defeated Vince Morales in a really entertaining fight. This is my favorite fight on the card. Morales, like, both guys are so strong, like literally back and forth, knocking each other around, and it was a very tight fight up until Morales, the very first round, clipped Domingo, who landed badly. He got a huge gash over his left eye, was raining down punches. Last 15 seconds of the fight, Domingo was able to kind of move himself a bit so the referee wouldn't stop the fight. Um, if that was 5 seconds or 6 seconds longer, I reckon the fight was done. Pilate is probably never heard of again in terms of UFC. You never know. Such as the crazy nature of this sport. But anyway, Domingo survives the first round. He survives, sits in a stool. I thought they were going to call in the doctor at one stage just to make sure that the blood wasn't going through his eye. But they didn't. The fight continued, and Pilate just cracked Morales, brought him down to the canvas, took his back, and sunk in. Really, really vicious looking rear naked choke. He stretched him out. He got all the hooks in. He did everything right. He stretched him out completely. Morales is doing his best to fight the hand. He's doing his best to scramble, to roll. But Domingo stuck with him. He had the body triangle choke. Sorry, he had the body triangle, excuse me, while he was doing the choke. Locked it in tight. Morales wouldn't tap. Just wouldn't tap. Referee had to stop the fight for him. It was a real blood and guts display from both guys. And I'm really happy that Pilate got a look in, because it was a really, really fun fight. Um, he took a beating as well. Like he was on the ropes considerably, and came back. And look, these are the type of fights that Dana White likes. But it's a good test as well, I think, for him, because what does he do when he's faced with adversity? and we all saw what happened. Pilate got the rear naked choke, got the finish, and inevitably, well, not inevitably, but conclusively, he got the UFC contract that lands him in. So happy days, well done, congratulations, and welcome to your new stamping ground. Um, the evening's main event: Macy Barker against Jamie Colleen. I apologize again. I'm butchering this. It's been a long working day. It's kind of late outside, but we'll get through this. But anyway, Macy Barber gets a contract, and she looked great. Like it wasn't necessarily the prettiest performance, for maybe 2.5 rounds. She basically dominated Colleen in the clinch up against the cage. The two women were back and forth. They were exchanging unpleasantries to each other. It was madness stuff. It was entertaining, I have to say. But Barbara's strength was phenomenal. Looked really, really good, and I like what she showed on display. And she wasn't just kind of content with kind of grappling and showing off her strength. She went hard for the finish, and in round three, she got Colleen down on the mat, and she was landing big, big, big bombs like big nasty elbows. Herb Dean stopped in. He stepped in and stopped the fight, but it was a really, really nice performance, and you know, very dominating performance from Barber, who is now in the UFC, and it was um, really interesting performance. Looks so strong for the weight class, the strawweight division. They obviously need new talent in that division to keep it going. But Barbara looked pretty good. It's early days to say how well she might do in the division, but it was a nice performance, really, really good showcase, and yeah. So she was the final contract winner on the card. Obviously, the seven other fighters didn't get anything, but I guess we'll go through the rest of the fights. Really, well, I guess the other two fights who didn't get a look in really. Austin Vanderford against Angelo Trevino was a really entertaining fight. I really enjoyed it. Both guys are swinging back and forth. I'm amazed that none of these fighters got a contract. I'm surprised. Well, I'll say either fighter. I mean, I'm surprised Vanderford. He actually went on to win the fight in the end. But I'm surprised that neither guy got a look in, because it was a real back and forth fight. It was really good. Trevino was landing nicely. He was pummeling away. Both guys were scrambling. They were taking each other's backs. It was real back and forth kind of technical battle on the mat. It was also nice stand up battle too. I really enjoyed it. But Vanderford in the second round was able to take him down and got hooks in and was able to sink in a really nice rear naked choke. Um, Mainly, I'm amazed that Vanderford didn't get a look in because he has connections with Paige Van Zandt, who's obviously a UFC fighter herself, and that's how Vanderford was able to use his connections to get through to the Contender Series and compete. I'm amazed really though that Dana White didn't say, okay, we'll give this guy a chance, see he's got good connections, we'll see what he can do, blah 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 blah. Didn't even get a look in. Kind of surprised by that really, but look, you never know. Vanderford could be back. It was a nice win. And at the end of the day, these aren't exhibition fights. These are proper MMA fights that these fighters are trained for months to do. So these guys are still padding their records. They're still trying to get noticed. They're still trying to, get that experience in the cage. And look, I mean, it was a nice performance. So I mean, a lot to take, positives from for Vanderford. Trevino looked okay too. Again, he'd be disappointed the way he got caught and the way he ended up giving us back. But I mean, look, it is what it is sometimes in MMA, and you never know. These guys could come back for season three or come back later in the year as um, an alternate, if you will, in case someone gets injured. Look, never know. Who knows? Dana White, who knows what he's thinking. I don't even know what he's thinking. Don't even know what I'm thinking of sometimes. So I guess the final fight we'll talk about really it was okay. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the guy's name because I'm going to butcher it. But Michael Bisping and Brendan Fitzgerald, the commentators on the Contender Series, were calling him Chibi. Anyone who watched the show, anyone who watched the event, knows who I'm talking about. Unbeaten Chibi fought against a a late replacement in Anthony Adams, who took the fight on 5 days' notice. And for 5 days' notice, it looked really, really sharp. Now he'd only fought at the end of June, so he was obviously still in a bit of shape. In fight shape, he actually moved up from welterweight to middleweight to take the fight. So obviously there might have been issues about going too hard early doors because he may not have the conditioning. I don't know if he's fought a middleweight before, but he did himself justice. I thought he had a really nice showing. But in the end, Chibi did win by split decision. It was a fun fight. Wasn't amazingly brilliant. It was kind of, and it was entertaining in that it was such a closely fought fight. But I like what Adams did. To be honest, Chibi won the fight, but I really, really like what Adams did coming in a short notice, and he landed some nice spinning back elbows twice in that fight at the end of rounds one and two. That looked like it had Chibi back on the ropes. I thought Adams actually did enough to win the fight. Personally, I liked what I saw. Nice leg kicks, very strong guy. I mean, obviously he's a welterweight, he fights at welterweight, and I can understand the power he must have at welterweight. So it's interesting. I'd like to see him come back maybe and fight and in him in his natural weight class, maybe with a full fight camp, and see what he can do. He could come back on the Contender Series. You never know. And Chibi looked good too, but look, at the end of the day, he didn't get a contract. He wasn't exactly pushing the action as such. Chibi would have had the fight camp. He would have had the extra benefit of not having a fight. So I'm surprised he didn't really kind of push the action. But probably the most interesting thing in the fight that happened, 1 minute and I think 90 seconds left to go in the third round, the lights just went off. I thought I was watching this on my commute into work, and I thought my stream had just died. I was like, I was fiddling around with my phone, going, "What's going on with this?" Obviously, you can still hear the commentator saying, "No, no, no, it's actually a power outage with the lights above the octagon had gone out completely, so no one could see. Had to call a halt to the action. I didn't know what was going on. It was real Phantom of the Opera stuff. I hadn't got a clue what was happening. I was almost expecting the Undertaker to come into the ring when the lights came back up and all hell will break loose. But yeah, that's it as far as the fights go, guys. It was a really interesting night of fights. I really enjoyed it. I think that the three winners who got their contracts were worthy winners. Shame about Vanderford, but look, listen, he can come back again. But it's been brilliant. Yeah. So I mean, I guess until next week, guys. I mean, just keep sharing these videos if you like them. All the links are going to be down the bottom, the website, the Twitter, the Instagram, everything else. Give us a comment, give us a shout. Thank you for all my subscribers. Thanks for everyone who reads the website. Thanks for everyone who gets involved on fight nights, on the Twitter page, on the website. Everything's much appreciated. It's nice knowing that people appreciate the content that you deliver. Speaking of content, actually, there'll be a preview piece up either in video form or written form. I haven't decided yet. It's my birthday week this week. Turn the big trio. So I'll probably watch a ton of fights tomorrow, maybe, or Friday. Have a video piece up, maybe for preview UFC Hamburg and maybe some Cage Warrior stuff too. So, guys, until then, keep reading the site. Until next time, see you later.